Hello, Mr. Bedelu. We have done in sequencing and scheduling theory 2 machine sequencing problem and 3 machine sequencing problem. You prepare up to this for this mid-semester examination, though there is a method or algorithm also available for n job m machines problem. And that algorithm was developed by me, Maggu, and Mr. Alam, Dr. Alam, we can say, in 1975. That paper is there in ResearchGate and as well as in other literature also. It is available in like Sodh Ganga. And also not only this, using Johnson method or its extension for n job and m machine, which was done by me, Alam, and Maggu. We have also published a paper in 1975 to find an alternate optimal sequence. If Johnson optimal sequence is there, but what is the alternate solution? And that alternate method was given by me in 1975, and the sequence obtained by that method is different from Johnson sequence. It does not satisfy the Johnson conditions, but it gives the same minimum elapsed time as calculated by using the Johnson sequence, and that method was given for n jobs and 2 machines problem. Then Legacy, of course, my name is also there. My PhD student published a paper in 2016 in which we studied the problem of n jobs with 3 machines, alternate solution, and Legacy investigated rule by which an alternate optimal solution can be found for n jobs 3 machine sequencing problem, and that alternate sequence or alternate optimal sequence has many advantages on Johnson's optimal sequence, because the alternate optimal sequence collects the ideal times of the last machine broken at different places. It reduces the number of idle hours to a smaller number of idle hours places. And recently me, myself, and this Makonin Reddy published a paper in which it is there that all the alternate optimal solutions can be found by using that procedure. Not only one alternate solution, but all the possible number of alternate solutions to n jobs m machine sequencing problem. And this paper published in 2020 in Sultan Qaboos University Research Journal, which is a very highly reputed journal. So you can check that paper also, but this time you only prepare this first n job 2 machine problem and n jobs 3 machine problem. Today I will start this part CPM or network scheduling by PERT CPM. Introduction. Network scheduling is a technique for planning and scheduling large projects in the fields of construction, maintenance, fabrication, research and development, design. There are 2 basic planning and controlling techniques that utilize a network to complete predetermined project or schedule. These 2 techniques or these 2 techniques of network scheduling are CPM, critical path method, and PERT, program evaluation and review technique. Now, network basic components. What is a network? Network is a graphic representation of a project's operations and composed of activities and nodes that must be completed to reach the end of the project, showing the planning sequence of their accomplishment, their dependence and interrelationship. The basic components of network scheduling are: first, activity. An activity is a task or item of work to be done that consumes time, effort, money, or other resources. It lies between two events or between two nodes, indicating sequence in which events are to occur. Events. An event represents the start, beginning, or completion or end of some activity. Therefore, an activity is there in the beginning of the activity. There is a node in after completion, or whenever the activity is being completed, there is a node. This event does not consume any resources like time or money, etc. An event actually is nothing but a node and is generally represented on the network by like this. Here is start event, completion event, and it is the activity. To write the activity, there are two methods. One, activity on arrow. Another one is activity on node, AON and AOA. This representation is activity on arrow. We can write the name of activity on the arrow like A, B, C. And the second, activity on node. We write this activity, we denote this activity by I, J, or we use the starting event number and the completion event number to write the corresponding activity. Suppose an activity is represented by starting event is 2 and ending event is 3. So we can write on the corresponding arrow the name of the activity, that is the activity on arrow. And if we write or we show the activity by writing the nodes numbers, starting event number or completion event number. So that is also there. Now merge event. An event is said to be merge event if more than one activity are merging into it or ending into that event. 2 or 3 or 1, more than one also activities are ending to an event, then that event is called to be merge event. And burst event. An event is said to be burst event if more than one activity is outgoing from that event. And an event may also be the merge as well as the burst event. If some activities are ending to the event and some other activities are going out or are starting from that event, so that event will be merge and burst event. Now also it is there some other different type of activities, predecessor activity, and it has its own importance while drawing a network diagram. Predecessor's activity, an activity which must be completed before one or more other activities start, is known as predecessor activity. Or we can say an activity is the predecessors if it should finish or complete before the start of some other activities. So those other activities will be having the predecessor's activity, this one. Then successor activity, an activity which started immediately after one or more of other activities are completed. So after the completion of one or more activities, if an activity is started, that activity is the successor, and those activities which have already completed after the start of that activity, those activities are called predecessor's activities, and that activity will be the successor activity. Now dummy activity. A dummy activity in a network diagram is added only and only to represent the given precedence relationship. This activity does not consume any time, any money, or any resources. This activity is only depicted to make the precedence relationship. For example, you see here, if say activity C has preceding activity A, activity C has preceding activity A, but activity D has predecessors or preceding activities A and B. D has A and B, and activity C has A only. So then to show that D has not only A as its predecessor, but it has two predecessor activities A and B. One dummy activity is required like this, and this dummy activity is always depicted by a dotted line. So this is necessary to show here a dummy activity. Similarly, in second example, you see, this is the situation that C has a predecessor activity B, but D has a predecessor's activity A and B both. D has the predecessor's activity of this D and A. D and this C has predecessor's activity A and B, and D has predecessor's activity A only. So how to show that D has only one predecessors as A, but C has two predecessors A and B? So then we have to link this 4 and 3 by a dummy activity to show the relation that C has not only B as predecessor activity but A also. So this is about predecessor's activity. But predecessor activity does not consume any time or resources. It is depicted by dotted line. Looping. Network diagram. This is, you can check here, this is a loop. Activity this direction, then this direction, and the activity is coming back to the same node. So this is called a loop or a closed loop, and in a network diagram there should be no closed loop, or the network diagram should be non-cyclic. This is the condition. And then dangling. No activity should end without being joined to end activity. So every activity should be joined through some other activities to the end node or end event. For example, in this figure you see the end event is this, and activities E and F are ending to this event, but you see the D activity. D activity is not ending to the last event. So therefore, to show it that activity D is also ending to the last event, it is necessary to assume or to write here a dummy activity. So this is like dummy activity. So in this, no activity should be there in the network diagram that it is not connected through other activities to the last node. If it is there, then you have to connect, or anybody has to connect that activity which is not showing its ending to the last event. So we have to use the dummy activity to show that this event is also ending to the last event. Now, rules of network construction. Following rules are followed. Number one, each activity is represented by one and only one arrow. So one activity has its unique representation in the network diagram. Only one arrow can be used to represent an activity. Second, each activity must be identified by its starting node and end node. Each activity in the network diagram should have its starting node or event and its ending node or event. 3. Nodes are numbered to identify an activity uniquely. Tail node should have lower number than the number assigned to the end node or end event. 4. Between any pair of nodes, there should be one and only one activity. However, more than one activity be emanate and terminate to a node. But it is not like there. If you have a pair of nodes connecting those two nodes, there will be only one activity. But to first event, you can say starting event of that activity. From that event can start many activity. There is no problem. Similarly to its ending node, more than one activity can end. So that is not a problem. But between the two nodes, there will be one and only one activity. For a pair of nodes, we can say. Dummy activity, we have to add dummy activity only and only if it is absolutely necessary. We have to check whether the dummy activity is needed over there, or we can complete the network diagram without using the this dummy activity. So it is used whenever it is to be used whenever it is necessary. Then Fulkerson rule of numbering the events. How to number the events? We have to number, we have to give the numbers, or we have to assign the numbers to the event. Event number should be unique. The event number should be, it should not be repeated. It should be unique. Event number should be carried out in a sequential basis from left to right. In the network diagram, we have to assign the numbers to the events from left to right. And then 3, initial event, which has all outgoing arrows, is numbered 0 or 1. What is initial activity or starting activity in a network diagram? If it has no preceding activity, so it means it is starting from the first node. This activity, if does not have any preceding activity, so it is the initial or the starting activity, and this is starting node from which that very activity which has no predecessors activities, so the node from which that activity is starting is given the number always 0 or 1, or we can say the beginning event, or the event used in the start of a network diagram is to be numbered at 0 or 1. 4. Head of an arrow should always bear a number. Head of an arrow, there are two events connected with one activity. One is the head event, second one is the ending event, and head of an arrow should always bear a number higher than one assigned at the tail of the arrow. So if there is an event, it is connected with two nodes, so the starting node should have a number less than the ending node number. So this is about how to draw a network diagram, and of course we can draw a network diagram if precedence relationship have been given for the activities, and then we can draw it. So example, draw a network diagram for the following data: task or activities, they have been designated as A, B, C, D, E, F, and immediate predecessors or immediate preceding activities. So you see in the information data, A has no predecessors. A has no predecessors. So therefore A is the starting activity, or A is the activity which is starting from the first node, that is to be given number 0 or 1. So A is that activity, because you see here A has no predecessors. If by the way anywhere there are 3 activities and they have no predecessors, say A, B, C, so then those 3 activities will be started from the initial node. But here it is only activity A which has no immediate predecessors. And then further, B has predecessors A, C has predecessors A. So B and C has predecessors A. So this B and C activity should start from the head event of activity A, and they will have different ending node, because B and C are starting from the node number 2, they can not AND to same node. B and C, they are starting from one node, so they will AND to 2 different nodes. But further you see here the dummy activity. Here it is given that D has predecessors. You see here D has predecessors B and C. D has predecessors B and C. But E has predecessors C only. E has predecessors C only. D has predecessors B and C. So now in the diagram you check D has predecessors B only, but E has predecessors B and C. So, this E has predecessors C only, D has predecessors this B and C. So D has predecessors B and C, but E has predecessor C. To show this, that E has predecessor C only, but D has predecessors B and C, we need here one dummy activity. We need here one dummy activity, and then further it is given that E has predecessors C, D has predecessors B and C. And now further it is given that F has predecessors. F has predecessors D and E. F has predecessors D and E. This D and E. F has predecessors D and E. So therefore we need here one dummy activity to show that F has not only predecessors D, but it has predecessors E also. So, and F has predecessors D and E. So then F, you check, this F is the activity which this F is the activity which becomes over here the last activity F, because this F in the given data is not the predecessors of any other activity. This F is not the predecessors of any other activity. So therefore F is the last activity. So this is the network diagram for this example. So we have to apply this numbering of events using this Fulkerson's rule, and for network connection we have to use this step number 1 to 5. So, okay. Example 2, draw a network diagram for the following data: activity A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, and preceding activities. A, no preceding activity. So therefore, if A has no preceding activity, it means it is the starting activity, or this activity is to be started from the initial node, that is always to be numbered 0 or 1. So it is there. And then activity B, C and E. Activity B, C and E have preceding activity A. So therefore all these three events B, C and E are to be started from the head event of activity A. So you see what is the head event of activity A? 2. And as B, C and E, they have preceding activity A only, so they can be there like this. B and C is starting from this node. E is also starting from node 2 because B, C and E, these three activities have preceding activity A only. Further, it is given there that F has a preceding activity B and E, and B and E are not started from the different nodes. They have started from one and only one node. So therefore, to show this, that F has not only E as its preceding activity, but B also, or F has two preceding activities, E and B. So we have to use here a dummy activity to show this relation, that F has two predecessors activities. or two preceding activities E and B, and then no problem, next activity D has this preceding activity B, so therefore D is starting from B. Then G has preceding activity C. G has preceding activity C, and then it is given H has preceding activity D and F. H has not only one preceding activities, but this H activity has also two preceding activities. Not one preceding, but dummy. We have not used here the dummy. Why? Why like this? Because H is having, of course, the two preceding activities, but those two preceding activities are coming from two different nodes. If the situation be this, that H has two preceding activities F and D, but they are coming from one node, then dummy activity will be required. Here, though H is having two dummy activities, preceding activities, but here dummy activity is not required because the preceding activities are coming from different nodes. And now G has preceding activity C, I has preceding activity G. I has preceding activity G. So now the question is why we are not connecting this I activity from 7 to 9 node. No, because it is given that J has two preceding activities. J has again two preceding activities H and I, and in this situation also, over here also, we are not using any dummy activity. Again the explanation is because the preceding activities are coming from different nodes, and you see why J is the last or the ending activity or connecting to the last event, because J is not there as a preceding activity of any other activity. J is not the preceding activity of any other activity. So therefore J is the last activity, and in this way the network diagram is this. So while drawing a network diagram, you have to remember the rules for constructing a network diagram and the rule of assigning the numbers to different events or nodes in a network diagram. So this is first lecture, and in next lecture I will take how to calculate like this early start, early finish, late start, late finish, and also latest occurrence of an event, earliest occurrence of an event in a network diagram. How to calculate these quantities I will explain in my next lecture. Okay.